third down 13. As the Bulldogs lost 3 on their opening play. Looking to pass and taken down by Vince. Back at the 47-yard line is Gaglione, and it'll bring up a 4th down and long punting situation for the Bulldogs.
And that time, Tigers defense did exactly the way you want to do it. They saw what was going on very quickly. Thought Vince came in, made a nice play on it. He and defensively this year has been very good. The problems the Tigers have had, they've sputtered offensively. They've had turnovers. They've had problems connecting. They've had problems scoring. I'm going to see what happens tonight. Scott Duncanson is going to give the Tigers kind of a big boost, I think, coming back, because he gives Hand something it hasn't had, which is foot speed.
It was a short punt by Stowers, although he got a bit of a Bunnell bounce down to about the 21, where the Tigers will take over. After fumbling the kickoff, Tigers take over 1st and 10 at their own 21.
And basically what happened was that fumble cost Hand about 12, 15 yards, and so far nothing else. Tigers going to get the ball back, no harm done whatsoever. Bunnell did not have anything that resembled a game offensively. So now we see what Hand does.
1st and 10, Hevesy is the quarterback, McNetsy the fullback, Kelly is the tailback, and he'll get the call over the left side. He'll fall forward for a couple. Ball at 2 for Kelly, bring up 2nd down 8.
Scott Duncanson here on the near side. He's getting his first action of the year coming back off an injury. And at that point, on that first play, John Delapiano, who's a pretty good safety, had Dunk one-on-one. And he's following him now to the other side of the field. Dunk line up to the far side of the field split, and Delapiano's over there.
Split backs on 2nd and 8. Looking for McIntyre, just overthrown at the 45-yard line. They'll bring up a 3rd down for the Tigers. Offensively, the Tigers have Dave Green at center. The guards are Shaler and Millard. The tackles, Hughes and Vince. A couple of switches. Rubler in at the flanker as Wiesbrock moves into tight end. Duncanson, of course, the split end. Hevesy, the QB. Spaghetti is the fullback. And Kelly is the tailback.
Now this time Hand comes out with 2 people wide to the wide side of the field, the near side here.
And Hevesy looks for Rubler, has him, 1st down, and out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Nice pass and nice reception by Joe Rubler.
And that time Chris did a very nice job. He got the ball out there quickly. One of the problems he was having against Xavier, there were times when he had people open, he was holding the ball a little bit too long. That time, Joey Rubler cut underneath, Scott Duncanson went deep, and Joe was wide open, and Chris got him the ball there in a hurry.
1st down, Tigers out of the eye. Duncanson split out wide to the left. The pitch goes right to Kelly behind some blocking. Slips down, though, as Dave Millard, the lead blocker, had opened up a nice-sized hole for Kelly, but he slipped down.
Not only did Dave Millard open up a hole, but Kevin Hughes was downfield looking to plant a block on a safety because the hole was huge. And turf's a little bit damp here because the weather's a little chilly, and it's going to be a little bit slippery, I think, over the course of the night. And that's like a long gainer that turned into a 2-yarder.
And on 2nd and 8, they pitch it left. Kelly tries to swing it outside, can't. And he's stopped back at the original line of scrimmage, so he'll lose that 2 back, and it'll bring up 3rd down 10.
And the right inside linebacker, Terry Gallagher, number 32, over there on the play. Bunnell, like Hand, plays a 4-4. And does some things off. The Bulldogs have had 8 men at the line of scrimmage on a couple of plays. I think they rely a lot on Delapiano in that defensive secondary to try to cover a lot of ground. He's a good football player.
3rd down long. Tigers now, of course, with Duncanson in the lineup, have the option to throw the ball quite a bit better than they have the last 4 weeks. Looking for Rubler once again. Rubler has it still on his feet and taken out of bounds in Bulldog territory at the 43-yard line.
And again, Chris, they ran that same pattern. They sent Dunk down and in, sent Rubler underneath him, coming to the outside. Both of them were open on that play. And as a matter of fact, Chris looked at Scott Duncanson very quickly, and then saw that Joe Rubler was open for the easy 1st down, gave him the ball. Dunk was also open on that play. You may see him come back to that and look for Scott Duncanson, maybe for a TD.
McIntyre in for Rubler at the flanker position. Pitch goes right to Kelly behind Millard once again. Now cuts back and gets down close to the 35-yard line. Call it the 36. Nice pickup of about 8 yards on the play for Kelly.
Same play they ran before with that quick toss. That time Brian Kelly kept his feet, was able to cut it back in, and boom, there's a 7 or 8 yard gain.
2nd down and 2 for the Tigers. Millard once again. And Kelly will get down inside the 30. Plenty for the first down. They'll spot it at the 29-yard line. Tigers stop D'Angelo.
Tigers blocking that play very, very well. They're getting the ball out there quickly, and they're setting up situations where they have enough blockers out there to create a hole. Again, going against that 4-4, and it's working.
First and 10. From the 29, have a seat to Kelly. Kelly behind Hughes' block. And once again, Millard, both doing a nice job on that side. And Kelly manages to get about 5 out of that. So it'll be second down and about 5. We'll call it 4 as Kelly appears to have about 6.
Big block there by Kevin Hughes, kicking the man to the outside, creating the hole, and Brian Kelly doing a nice job running behind it. Tigers doing a very good job running to the short side right now, Chris. And generally, you know, a play like that, even though it's a quick hitter, you like to see go to the opposite side. You want to see go to the wide side of the field where he has a little bit of room to maneuver. But they're getting there very, very quickly, and I think they're surprising Bunnell a little bit with it.
Bulldogs have called a timeout with 7:03, and that'll give us a second, Hal, to talk about Bunnell and their opponents and what they've done with their 3-1 record.
Okay, Bunnell 3-1 started out with a 35-10 win over Massac, and as you recall, Massac went to the state title game last year against Hillhouse. Then they beat Guilford just barely, 14-7. But Guilford defensively, of course, very, very strong. And just talking to Don Bassi a little bit before the game, he said he was not all that impressed with Bunnell offensively. He said they were a very physical team, very strong, and he did like them defensively. Then Jonathan Law upset Bunnell, and that's got to be a kind of a surprise, 12-9. But the Bulldogs came back last week and shut out Bridgeport Central 28-0. So Bunnell's only given up 29 points in 4 games and has a 3-1 record.
Second down 4 for the Tigers out of the eye. It's still Messi and Kelly. It's Kelly the workhorse once again, and Kelly falls up over the 20, down close to the 19. Appears to be just short of a first down from here.
That time, rather than go to the toss, Tigers just did a straight handoff, went a little bit inside, tackle guard hole, trying to see if they could create something in there, maybe establish a little bit of an opening, because they've really pounded that outside and really kind of gone after the left defensive side of the Bunnell line.
And we should note also that Stu Leckie is in street clothes, so he will not see action tonight for the Tigers. Expect to see Kelly get most of the carries tonight. Official timeout on the field. There's 6:38 to go. No score. Tigers driving the ball just inside the 20. We'll call it the 19.
I want to mention the officials. Larry Griffin, the referee, Ed Ardito, the line judge, Peter Booth, the umpire, and Dave Holdwright, the linesman, and Norm DiMartino is in the booth operating the clock.
Third down 1, and it's Spignesi, and he will be very close to the first down.
It's going to be a left foot, right foot spot. I see a left foot spot. I think he's short.
He will be short, and it'll bring up a 4th down situation. Surely the Tigers will have the option of 1 going for it, Hal, or 2. We watched in the pregame McIntyre hitting 35-yard field goals. This would be from 36.
McIntyre's in the game, but I think he's going to be a flanker back rather than a kicker here. Tigers are going to go for it. They've been moving the ball very, very well. Now Chris Hevesy calling a timeout. He doesn't like what he sees.
It's first of the half.
So now the Tigers have taken timeout. We have 6:06 left here in the first quarter. 4th down and 1 for the Tigers when we come back here on Madison Community Television. 4th down for the Tigers. A little less than a yard to go out of the I formation. Hevesy calls the signals, pitches to Kelly. A lot of room over the right side. He cuts back. More than enough for the first down, and down close to the 10-yard line. Call it the 11. Big play on 4th down.
Certainly was. And again, that toss to the wing is to that side is working. That just the quick toss. Brian Kelly getting outside and having a lot of room to operate. Bunnell at some point or another is going to adjust to that. When it does, and you're going to look for him to do some other things. But as long as that play's working, you might as well take advantage of it.
First and 10 from the 11. Duncanson splits out wide to the left. Delapiano goes out on him man-to-man. Hevesy pitches to Kelly. And Kelly does a good job after he's met head-on by Steve D'Angelo. One of the linebackers for Bunnell, and Kelly managed to get a couple down inside the 10, spotted at the 9, pick up a 2 for Kelly. So second down 8. Tigers need to get to about the 1 for a first down.
First time that Dave Millard's been a little bit slow getting to the outside. And if you saw on that play, if you have a VCR and do a replay on that, you saw Kelly and Millard running right together. And usually Dave Millard was a couple steps out in front of him.
It's Kelly, and Kelly will bull his way down close to the 5. From here, it looks to be about the 6-yard line, so a pickup of about 3, bring up third down at about 5.
And you're probably going to see the Tigers throw on this one, I would guess.
Well, the Tigers have the slant pattern set up pretty well, with Duncanson split out wide to the left and man-to-man coverage
He's getting single coverage from Della Piano. Della Piano is playing him very much to the inside. Now, if he rolls that way, he's got him in the corner.
The pitch goes to Kelly. They'll continue to work that side over Hughes and Millard down close to the 2-yard line.
This may be measurement for the first down, Chris.
On the tackle for Bunnell. Gain is out near the first yard marker. We will have a timeout for a measurement.
They are doing a measurement, but if you'll notice that Scott Duncanson lying up the wide side of the field, and Della Piano is playing for that slant pattern that you just mentioned. He's playing him about 2 to 3 steps to the inside. Dunk gives him a little bit of a fake that way, goes to the corner. Hand has got a definite pass play anytime it wants it, as long as Della Piano's playing it that way.
It is a hand first down at the Bunnell 1-yard line.
Tigers get the first down, and they're going to have 4 cracks in the 1. And this is maybe as impressive a drive as Hand has had since the opening game against Brantford. And the Tigers took the ball right down the field early. Doing a very, very nice job. Line is very crisp, the running is good, and Tigers should score here.
First and goal from the 1. Kelly cuts back and waltzes in for the easy touchdown with 4:20 to go here in the first quarter.
And that was impressive.
Only one man for Bunnell had a shot, and that was the safety, Bill Anderson. He was only able to get a hand on Kelly as Kelly cut back nicely and goes in for the Tigers' first 6 of the ball game. 6-0 Tigers. McIntyre on to try the extra point. Dan Zaneski will do the holding. Snap is good. Zaneski puts it down, and McIntyre hits it through the uprights. So the Tigers have jumped in front, 7-0 here in the first quarter. 4:20 to go. Tigers in front of Bunnell, 7-0. Tigers set to kick. It'll be McIntyre doing the kicking, dropping deep. Rich Anderson, number 38. Darrell Bumbala, number 36. And Bill Anderson, 27. And it's fielded and taken up over the 30-yard line. Carrying the ball is Rich Anderson. And he managed to get it over the 35 to about the 37 in what looked held to be really not set up to go to the 37, but Anderson managed to get it up over the 35.
Yes, he did, and the Tigers are still having problems. 5th game of the season, their special teams are still having a little bit of a problem, and that's been a difficulty for Hand all year long.
So first down 10 from the 37. And Gaglione keeps it, and Cooper on the hit, and it appears to be a loss of a yard or so.
Big play there by Kevin Hughes inside, because there was a fake to the fullback, and Gaglione might have been going to hand it off, but Kevin Hughes was right there to meet the fullback. Gaglione pulled it back out and tried to go outside and had nothing there. And the way you have to defend the wishbone is from the inside out, and that time the Tigers did it exactly right.
Second down play, lost about a half a yard, so 10.5. 3:20 to go. And it's Anderson. That's Rich, the ball carrier. He'll get about a yard up to about the 38-yard line. So it'll bring up a third down and 9 situation.
And Todd Vince right there. Right now, Tigers doing a nice job controlling the line of scrimmage and not allowing Bunnell to get that wishbone working.
Third down, play action, really not necessary. Tigers knew they were throwing. Green slips through, makes the tackle. Big loss, back to the 31.
Hand doing just a fine job, slipping inside. Tigers' interior line offensively, and defensively rather, doing a very, very good job right now. Maybe as much emotion as we've seen from Hand for a while, too, Chris. And I'll tell you, that's been a problem, too. Tigers have played certainly last week against Xavier, very emotionless, very flat football. Tonight, it looks a little bit better.
The Bulldogs did not fool anybody on that play, as Tigers knew they were throwing. On 3rd and 9, the play action did not fool anybody. And Zaneski maybe perhaps makes a mistake at the 32 by picking up that ball. Almost loses it, but manages to recover it at the 32 where the Tigers will take over.
Better punt than the first time, but still maybe not as good as Hand expected. Tigers were probably 10, 12 yards deeper than the ball was kicked. It got a hop, and the ball came right at the Antoneski. You can say it's a mistake in one way, but at the same time, if it just hits him, it becomes a free ball. So maybe, with the ball coming right at him, the smart thing to do is just fall on it.
1st and 10 from the 32. Under 2 minutes to go, first quarter. The pitch goes Kelly. They'll continue to work outside. Slipping through for Bunnell and making the tackle, Terry Gallagher, one of the linebackers.
Right, and that time Gallagher, number 32, did what he was supposed to do. But if he missed, for some reason or another, Kelly had about 25 yards.
Tigers have run almost every play over their right side of their offensive line this far. 2nd down, 10. And it's the dive to Spignessi. He's hit right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. It'll bring up a 3rd and 10 for the Tigers.
Bunnell inside doing a fairly good job defensively, but on the corners a little bit weak. And here you might be going to look for a pass, and Dunk is getting single coverage on the outside. Again, Delapiano giving him the inside. Dunk goes in and out. He may have a shot.
McIntyre out of the flank. He's covered well. Dunk is out over the middle. Hevesy has nobody open. Forced it. Tuck it under the arm. He'll get up to the 35 for a pickup of about 3 or 4 yards. The Tigers will be forced to punt it away.
He still had Duncanson open. He just didn't throw the ball. And again, that was a situation where he had him open early. He had to throw the ball fairly quickly. But rolling to your left, there are not too very many people who can make that throw that quickly, because you've got to stop, plant your feet, square your shoulders up, and throw. It takes a while.
It's Billy Anderson, number 27, dropping deep. Receives the punt from Zaneski. Fields it cleanly at the 40, and he's up close to midfield, still on his feet. Gets into Tiger territory at the 48, and a nice piece of running by Anderson to get into Tiger territory.
Good play by Anderson. That was a low-line drive-type punt. If he had, for some reason or another, not caught that ball in the air, it probably would have gone down to about the 20-yard line. But because he did catch it in the air, he probably gave Bunnell 25 to 30 yards.
Cold, brisk night. First quarter nearing to a close with 3 seconds showing on the clock. Do not believe Bunnell will get the play off. And we'll go to second quarter action when we come back on Madison Community Television. After 1, it's the Tigers 7 and the Bulldogs 9. Opening play of the second quarter. What wind there is blowing north to south, so a crosswind tonight. So it doesn't really favor either side depending on which way they're going, east or west. On a first down, and still on his feet and gaining about 10 or so is Bumbala, as he gets very close to the first down. I believe he has it, so that would be a pickup of 10 or a bit better on the first down play for the Bulldogs.
Officials calling for the chains, but it certainly looks like it's a first down. First long John night of the year, Chris.
Yes. First real football night of the year. We've had pretty good weather for the most part. It rained at the Xavier game, but it was warm that night.
Yes, it was.
By the length of the football, the Bulldogs have the first down.
First down of the ball game for Bunnell. Bulldogs finally starting to get that offense on track a little bit. That time, they got to the outside before the Tigers had a chance to get over there.
First down 10. The wide receiver split out to the left. And the same play, and Vince stuffs it for no gain.
Dave Green also there, down on the bottom of that pile. A little bit of misdirection, and that time Tigers staying at home and doing the job that they're supposed to do.
Again on the play, it'll be 2nd and 10.
Second down 10, opening minute of play, second quarter. Fake to the fullback, now the pitch. And getting outside of Newcomb. And Cooper taking them out of bounds. And that's Rich Anderson, the left halfback that took the pitch from the quarterback, Aguillon. And got up close to the 30-yard line. I guess 33, so about 4 yards for a first down.
Newcomb smelled that out well, but he just didn't have a very good angle, and he kind of took a desperate dive trying to get out there for him, but pretty good speed on the outside, and Bunnell managed to turn the corner on that play.
And slipping through and getting up close to the first down, about a yard short, is Rich Anderson, the right halfback. And it'll bring up a 4th down and 1 for the Bulldogs.
Fairly a long one here, Chris. 1.5, but Bunnell's in 4-down territory, so you would assume that the Bulldogs would go after it. Be interesting to see where Bunnell tries to run the ball here.
They send Bill Anderson split out wide to the left, and a fumbled snap recovered by Bunnell. But on downs, the ball turns over, and either way, the Tigers have it.
Big break for him. Aguillon just pulled out a little bit quick. Maybe his hand's a little bit cold from what the weather's like. Just pulled out a little bit quick there, and ball popped up, and he had to do what he could, which is to dive on the football.
So the Tigers take over 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. Offensively, they stay the same. Hevesy is the QB, Spignessi the fullback. Kelly is the tailback out of the I formation. Duncanson split out to the right. The pitch goes left this time, and Kelly cuts back and manages 3. As they haven't gone over the left side of their offensive line more than twice, I think, thus far here in the first half.
That time, number 65, Ed McCormick, managed to get a hand on Brian Kelly just as he turned it back up inside. If the blocks had been held a tad longer, you probably would have seen him pop it into the secondary there.
It's Shaler and Vince on the left side of the Tiger offensive line. And they'll go straight up the middle. I believe there was a fumble. I'm not sure if the ball carrier ever had a handle on it.
Oh, there was a mix-up in the band. It was recovered by Bunnell.
I believe the ball carrier did not have a handle on it. Hevesy realized it, went down for the ball, but by that time Bunnell had recovered.
Steve D'Angelo, number 50, recovered the ball. But what happened on that play was that Robbie Spignessi and Chris Hevesy bumped when Chris came out from under center. I don't know if somebody figured that the spin was supposed to go the other way on his drop step, but they did bump, and that was what created the problem.
Play action on 1st down, looking for Della Piano, and incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Bulldogs.
Gagliano had fairly good protection there. He managed to get back and throw the ball, but he overthrew the mark probably by 4 or 5 yards, and the Tigers had the play covered reasonably well.
Defensively for the Tigers, they have Green and Hughes inside of the tackles. Vince and Cooper are the ends. Spignessi and Newcomb the rovers. Linebackers are Wiesbach and Millard. And the corners are Zaneski and also Paul Marinville. The safety is Chris Hevesy. Out of the backfield, they swing it to Bumbala. And Bumbala high hurdles a tackler, gets down to the 25-yard line.
He got up over Pete Newcomb on that play. Nice scissors getting over Pete, and then Danny Zaneski finally knocked him out of bounds, about 2 yards short of the first down. Big play here for Bunnell with a third, maybe 1.5 or so. The Tigers have to come up with something defensively here.
Just about the situation they were in just moments earlier. And they run what appears to be a scissors play to Anderson, the right halfback, and he's stuffed right at the line of scrimmage.
Tigers, good job getting over there, coming up off the bottom of the pile, Matt Cooper. But Han had 3 or 4 people there, and maybe even lost half a yard. Chris set up a long one, almost 2 yards, on the 4th down play.
Ball is marked right now at about the 26. They need to advance it to the 24, Hal, so you're right. It is about 2, and they won't get it. And the give was to the fullback, Terry Gallagher, and once again on downs, the ball turns over as the Tigers take over 1st and 10, and the ball on the 26-yard line.
Dave Green, excellent penetration on that play. Coming up off the bottom, David was probably a yard or 2 into the backfield, and he's the one who stuffed that play up.
8 minutes, 15 seconds to go, first half. Tigers in front, 7-0. They have the ball and come out with Duncanson split out wide to the left. Rubler to the right. And the play goes up the middle to Spignesi. And it's read well, and he's met for maybe a yard gain at best.
Han tried to pop that quick hitter up the middle that time. They've been pounding that outside. They've been pounding that left defensive side. That time decided to try to go inside, pop it up the middle quickly, and maybe catch Bunnell off balance. But the Bulldogs doing a very good job inside defensively. Bunnell's having problems on the corner, though.
Give Rob 1 and call it 2nd down and 9 for the Tigers. Once again out of the eye. Hevesy looking for Duncanson. Has him wide open and underthrows it. Duncanson tries to come back for it, but the pass was just too low. It would have been a 3 or 4 yards short, but boy, it was no one within 10 yards of Duncanson.
They respect his speed. That was something we didn't see last week. Xavier cornerbacks were playing real tight on hand receivers, and basically we're just saying, hey, you can't outrun us. With Scott Duncanson in the lineup, people can't afford to do that, because if they do, he's gone.
On 3rd down and 9, it's Duncanson once again, splits to the left. They look for the down, out, and down. Delapiano does not really bite. Reads it pretty well. Nice pass, really, by Hevesy. Just past the outstretched hands of Duncanson at Bunnell 45-yard line. So the Tigers will be forced to punt on 4th down.
And Billy Anderson got over very well on that play. Again, they're just saying Delapiano is going to cover Scott Duncanson wherever he goes. But Anderson came over also, number 27, who probably came into your picture, and did a good job of being there.
Obviously, Delapiano much more concerned with the down, out, and down than with the short pass. So the Tigers should look for the square out most of the night, I would think. And a pretty good punt by Zaneski. Anderson fields it, stays on his feet after taking a vicious hit and dragged down from behind. Zaneski over there. Green saying he took the ball away. He did come up off the pile with the ball, but it will be the Bulldog ball at the 28-yard line.
So that's a 29-yard punt return on that. He took it around the 43-yard line, got down to the hand 28, but he hit the wall, got behind it pretty well, and all of a sudden he just kind of popped through, and there he was.
It's Anderson and Bumbala. They're the halfbacks. Gallagher is the fullback. And it's Bumbala. And Bumbala gets up to about the 25-yard line. That'll be a pickup of close to 4 yards. It'll bring up 2nd and 6.
That's a gain of 3. Bring up 2nd and 7. From the
Paul Nichols says 3. We don't argue with Nick. He's been here longer than both of us combined, I think, Chris.
And it's Anderson. Check that, it's Bumbala as he bumps into Anderson, leading the way over the right side. Short pickup on the play.
If he hadn't bumped into him, he maybe had a chance to do something, but when he did that, number 34, Robbie Spignesi, got over and was able to get in there and make the play and basically hold it to a 1 or 2 yard gain.
Pickup of about 2 to bring up 3rd down. Once again, Paul Nichols and the board says 5. It's about 4.5. It's closer to it, I believe, and it's Bumbala, and Bumbala will get the nose of the ball inside the 20. Will not have enough for the 1st down as they will spot it close to the 19.
going to be fourth and a long one again, and this is the third time now that the Tigers have had to come up with a defensive play on fourth down inside their own 30.
Bunnell takes timeout, his second of the half.
And Bunnell calling a timeout here with 5:35 left to go. Bunnell's second timeout. Bulldogs, I think, realizing that at some point or another the well's going to run dry on that good field position.
So there's a timeout on the field with 5:35 to go in the first half. It's hand 7, and Bunnell the 1 for Bunnell. Out of the wishbone, Gaglione, long cadence, and it's Bumbala. Bumbala initially doesn't have it, then falls forward, and I think it will depend on the spot. And it will be very close.
This one's close, Chris.
It appears to be just short.
Officials aren't even coming out.
Now, what kills me here, Hal, honestly, is that they have measured it before on when it was obvious. Now they're
calling
okay. All right,
now they're calling them out.
They had already said handball. We're not going to measure. This one's closer than ones they have measured so far in the first half.
All right, and Steve Sicuro probably the first to be jumping up and down on the hand sideline. I think he's firmly in belief that the Tigers have the football.
It is close. If they don't have it, it's just a matter of no more than the length of the football, maybe half the length of the football at the most, if the sideline marker is exactly where it should be.
They're short by a good length plus of the football.
Yeah, a little bit more than the length of the football.
Good spotting by Charlie Gabauer and Dr. Chance.
Very good. But anyway, it was a nice effort by Bumbala, who was stuffed at the line of scrimmage, managed to fall forward and get about a yard, needed about a yard and a half. Did not get it on downs, it turns over, 1st and 10 Tigers, call it the 19. Duncan to the split wide to the right. Hevesy looking for Dunk, has him on a square out. And as I mentioned just moments ago, 5-6 yards every time on the square out.
Yes, he does. He's definitely got that because Delapiano is very, very aware of the inside. He's playing him to the inside. He's shading him that way. He's giving him that ball outside. It's just a matter of getting the ball there right now. And, the timing is a little bit off. Again, Scott hasn't played all year. And when he and Chris get that timing down, that pace is going to be an automatic.
That ball thrown by Hevesy forced them to turn back a little bit toward the ball, so it was somewhat of a difficult catch for Dunk. And, of course, a very, very cold night. Wiesbach wearing gloves before offensively. Dunk again, and this time it's just getting out of his hands. Had to come up off the ground a couple feet for that one, so it would have been a tough one once again.
Yep.
And I think, as you mentioned, Al, I think it's just the timing right now. They haven't been working together that much this year, and it'll take perhaps a game or so to get it down.
Now we'll see what happens here. Joe Rubler coming in with a play from the sideline. McIntyre coming out. And Hand going to send both McIntyre and Rubler to the wide side, or Rubler and Duncanson to the wide side of the field. Let's see what happens here.
3rd and 10. Hevesy looks over the middle. Wiesbach was wide open. Rubler is still open. Hevesy runs up, picks up about 4 or 5 yards, but it'll bring up a 4th down for the Tigers. And initially, Wiesbach was open over the middle. That was Hevesy's target, and was being pressured back there, forced to run it, and chose to hold on to the ball, although Rubler was open at about midfield.
Well, when he started to turn it to the outside, he did have a lot of room because as soon as he got past that initial wave of people who were going down, there was a lot of room there until the secondary came up.
Bad snap, handled nicely by Zaneski, fielded at the 50 by Anderson, and he's still on his feet, cuts back now, out over the 25, and finally taken down at the 23 as Newcomb had a shot put on him by the fullback Gallagher, 32, and he will go off very slowly. Also down on the play, I believe, may be the ball carrier, Anderson, number 27. That's Bill Anderson. Anderson is listed at 5'6", 150, and a senior. So there's timeout on the field while they check over Bill Anderson. 4:53 to go, first half action here at the Madison Surf Club. Tigers in front, 7-0. Bunnell Bulldogs with the ball at about the 23, 1st and 10, 4:39 to go, first half. Gaglione swings it out to Bumbala, And Bunnell is hit for a loss of a 1 on the play after the reception. Hevesy, the initial tackler for the Tigers.
And Bunnell has spent the entire second quarter inside the 30-yard line, but the Bulldogs just simply cannot put the ball in the end zone, which is a problem Ian's had the last couple of weeks. This time the Tigers got a nice drive early, got up, and now are playing the kind of defense that we've seen Ian play all the way through.
Second down, 11 for the Tigers. Gaglione, straight drop back over the middle. Nice pass to Anderson. Anderson turns it up, shows good speed, and gets down inside the 5 to about the 4. Rubler and Wiesbrock on the tackle at the 4.
And to use the old Frank Gifford expression, he did find the seam in the zone on that one. He definitely found a hole in the middle of the shell. And Gaglione got him the ball when he had to, which was fairly early in the cut. And he just took it up inside, and all of a sudden, Bunnell's looking at first and goal.
Anderson did as good a job as you can see after he catched the ball getting upfield. Did not run east-west, north-south, straight up the field, and picked up an extra 10 or 12 yards after the reception. That was the fullback in Gallagher, and I believe he may get about a half a yard on the play.
Wiesbrock was there and just physically wrestled him down.
Wiesbrock now playing linebacker this week against Bunnell after playing in the defensive backfield in the first 4 games for the Tigers. Hevesy and Marinville seeing action in the defensive backfield today. And once again, short pickup, about a half a yard or so, so it'll get down close to about the 2-yard line, I believe.
There's Gallagher on that carry, and that was pretty much second effort because he was stopped at the line of scrimmage also and managed to lunge it forward for a yard or 2. Bunnell having a little bit of a tough time here.
3rd and goal, Bunnell, and he'll go in easy.
And that's the first time you actually saw an option, I think, all game by Bunnell. That time Gaglione came down the line of scrimmage, faked to the fullback inside, and then when he saw what was going on, finally threw the pitch outside on the option, and Bunnell had clear sailing into the end zone.
And for the Tigers, Todd Vince is down. So while they attend to Todd, there's a timeout on the field, 2:41 left to go first half. Tigers in front 7-6, and Bunnell will attempt the extra point. Terry Gallagher sets the tee, number 32 for Bunnell, and he will do the kicking. And the fake, and it'll go incomplete as Delapiano, the holder, threw it in the end zone, attempting to pass for John Colucci, number 25, and it falls incomplete. So 2:41 to go first half. Tigers hold on to the lead, 7-6. So Wiesbrock are deep. It'll be Zaneski. Now Wiesbrock at the 15, 20, 25. Wheezy still on his feet, and out over the 40 to the 42. Just what the Tigers need. Good field position with 2:32 to go in the half.
Now we see what Hand does with the football. Does Larry sit on it a little bit here, or does he maybe try to put up a score? Tell you, I got a little bit of a question about Bob Mastriani's strategy there, going for the 2. Bunnell has had great field position in the first half. The Bulldogs have had the ball inside the Hand 30 like 4 or 5 times. You got to wonder about him going for 2 this early in the ballgame.
Out of the split backfield on 1st and 10, looking for Duncanson on the fly, but Delapiano right there as the ball is thrown out of bounds. And Duncanson actually stepped out of bounds back at the 33-yard line.
Now, I don't know why the official's flag just came out. There was a flag down around the about the 32, 33-yard line, but I think it just kind of came out of his pocket on that.
I think that's where Duncanson stepped out at the 33. When he's running down the sidelines, he stepped out of bounds. Right. I think that's where he threw the...
he should have thrown the beanbag rather than the flag there, but... yeah, once you do go out of bounds, you cannot come back in and make the catch.
So 2nd down 10, 2 wide receivers. Wiesbrock split to the left, Duncan on the right, and Rubler in motion. Rubler is open down the right side. Hevesy can't find him. Now over the middle to Wiesbrock, and it will be very close to the first down. Appears to be about a half a yard short inside Bulldog territory at 49.
Horrible spot, Chris. He lost at least a yard and a half on that spot. Absolutely horrible.
Usually they give it to him where they make the reception, not where they're pushed back and tackled.
Exactly, and he got hit and pushed and driven back, he probably had a first down.
Minute 40 to go. Third down, 1 for the Tigers out of the eye. And
Bunnell lined up outside.
They couldn't have taken too much time.
Bunnell lined up offside. Encroachment into the neutral zone. There was no question about it.
Well, the Tigers get a gimme here as the ball will be advanced down to the 44-yard line, where they'll have a 1st and 10 with a 1:38 to go, looking for more, and they lead at 7-6.
The official gave an illegal signal there. He gave an offside signal, which there is no such thing. It's encroachment. It's an automatic. You have to take the penalty if that ball foul.
Duncanson once again, man-to-man. Delapiano, the pitch goes to Kelly behind Shaler. And he gets down inside the 40 to about the 39-yard line. And Shaler did a nice job.
Along with Todd Vince. And that time, Brian Kelly did a good job, too, because what he did was to hesitate long enough for Pete Shaler to make his block before he cut off, because he could have certainly been stopped for no gain unless he had done that. Good piece of running by Brian Kelly.
And I think we just made up on that previous spot as they've now spotted the ball down at about the 38-yard line. That was the nose of the ball. It just gotten over the 40. 39 at best, but now it's going to be at the 38. So the Tigers pick back up the one they lost. And it'll bring up a 2nd down 5 as the Tigers have called a timeout. And we'll talk it over on the sidelines. Larry Ciotti and Hevesy talk it over right now.
And I'll tell you, Chris, this certainly answered the question of whether or not Heen was going to sit on the ball. The Tigers definitely trying to get something going here.
And the difference is Duncanson back in the lineup.
He just gives them a threat. There's a threat there that wasn't there before, but now has to worry about it. And, you know.
The Tigers exude more confidence, it appears, tonight with Duncanson in the lineup.
Playing, I think, with a little bit more emotion. He gives them some leadership. And that was something I think that was lacking, too, was just having somebody there to kind of take this team by the bootstraps, pick it up and say, hey, follow me, because we're going someplace.
The Tigers were forced to be pretty much one-dimensional. I mean, they give the ball to Kelly, try a few passes incomplete, and it was back to Kelly, you know, for the first 4 weeks. And right away, the Tigers have thrown the ball more in the first half than they've probably thrown in some games this year. This time it's Kelly.
On the draw.
Kelly gets down for the first down, I believe.
Yeah, the officials are calling for time until the chains are moved, so...
ball spotted at the 33 as the Tigers needed to get to
chains
the 34.
have not moved yet, though. Chains have not yet moved. And now they're waving before the chains are moved. And now we have officials throwing flags. The officials screwed this up. Hand's going to get nailed for illegal procedure, but the officials screwed this up.
Tigers' left side got set, then got up, then got set.
Okay, but the officials messed it up because they did not let the chains set. The chains were real slow coming down, and instead of holding play up, letting the chains get set, the chain gang was still moving, and the Tigers are sitting there trying to figure out what the heck is going on. The officials are waving the clock on, and you get an illegal procedure penalty.
Right. The clock should have remained stopped until the chains were set.
Nonsense by the officials.
So the Tigers now 1st and 15, and we're under a minute to go.
Chris.
Split backs out of the shotgun. Hevesy over the middle for Wiesbach. Wiesbach has it. Pickup of about 6. 2nd down 9. Clock continues to run with 45 seconds to go. Tigers come out once again with the pro set backfield. Duncanson split out to the left, and they'll take 6, maybe more. And Delapiano takes Duncanson out of bounds at the 25. It'll be about a yard short of the first down.
But it stops the clock, Chris, which is a key thing. 37 seconds to go here. And Tigers looking at a 3rd and about 1. And maybe one decent-sized pass away from a field goal try.
And we watched McIntyre hit 35-yarders consistently in the warm-up. Wind's still a little far now.
Wind's starting to swirl that way, though. Wind's starting to swirl that way. He needs about another 12 to 15 yards to feel halfway comfortable.
Hevesy give to Kelly.
And he may not have the first down.
Hit hard. Making the tackle, Captain Terry Gallagher.
Now the officials, now they're going to do a spot that's going to maybe call for a measurement.
Once again,
hand timeout.
They will be short, and it'll bring a 4th down situation, I believe. The Tigers have called timeout.
Their last time out of the half. Well, you can't take them home with you, Chris. You might as well use them up.
30 seconds showing on the clock. Tigers in front 7-6. Chris Wallach and Hal Levy from the top press box here at Strong Field. Our cameraman tonight, Joe LePage. And this game on Madison Community Television brought to you in part by a grant from First Federal Savings and Loan of Madison and also from the Madison Football Boosters. And we're pleased to bring you all these hand football games right here on Madison Community Television. And next week, a big one for the Tigers. Saturday, it will be North Brantford.
Seabirds of North Brantford.
7 winner over Morgan.
Featuring Chris Regan, who is as good a football player as you will see any place in the state of Connecticut this year. He is big time.
And a little later on, we'll have to get Hal Levy's opinion on both teams, as Hal was at the game over at the Peters Complex.
Two very good football teams. I'll tell you that much right now, Chris, real quick.
Right here, it's Tigers Bulldogs 7-6. The pitch goes to Kelly. Kelly hit head-on, gets enough for the first down. Once again, all around the ball tonight, Terry Gallagher defensively for the Bulldogs.
Now, there's 26 seconds. The officials have not moved the chains yet. It's got to be a hand first down. Now, I want to see them move it, and I want to see them hold the clock until, and they're not. Okay, and 2 seconds went off the clock. Now they're going to call hand for illegal procedure again, and this is absolute stupidity on the part of the officials. Larry Griffin and his crew not doing what they are supposed to do right now, and I don't get on officials very often, Chris. You know, I know how much work they go through, and I know how hard they try, but they're not doing a real good job right now.
Well, the clock, I believe, should not start for the Tigers until the chains are set.
The chains are supposed to be moved.
Called off the seconds before the chains were moved, therefore penalizing the Tigers, which should not have happened.
Exactly. And then they throw an illegal procedure penalty when hand is trying to throw the ball to stop the clock. So they're nailing him twice. They're nailing with 5 yards worth of penalties, and they're taking time off the clock as well. They are not doing what they're supposed to do.
And now there's only 12 seconds left. This could be the final play. If it's completed in the middle of the field, Hevesy Best getting out of bounds with it. And it's almost intercepted by Delapiano with 6 seconds showing on the clock. The ball, the line of scrimmage for the Tigers now is definitely, I believe, Hal, taken them out of field goal range. The line of scrimmage is the 28, which would make for a 45-yarder,
which is awful tough.
But a 40-yarder would have been a lot more likely. I believe they'll try it anyway with only 6 seconds to go. But surely that 5 yards could make a big difference as McIntyre will set the tee down at
Still
the 34.
Still a chance he played because of the block possibility, Chris, because you can take a block field goal and run it back. That's the one thing you have to worry about with the long one.
Big difference here, though, Hal, between 44 and 39.
He still had the leg to do it. It was going to be wide right, and it probably would have been wide right from 5 yards in because he had the distance to make that field goal if it was there, Chris.
The thing is with the with field goals going wide, you don't need to put the leg into the ball when it's a little bit closer, and that is sometimes the reason why you hook it or slice it. So that 5 yards may have made a difference.
Maybe it does. I'm not going to argue. But the officials, basically, as far as I'm concerned, the officials cost handsome points here.
I'd have to agree.
1 second left, so this is going to be the last play, and either Bunnell's going to sit on the ball or they're going to throw it as deep as they can. We'll see what happens. I think they're going to sit.
Steve Sekula on the sideline talking to one of the officials. He wasn't too happy about what had been going on.
And that is the end of the first half.
Obviously, we're not very happy, but we'll let it alone for now as both teams drop the locker room for halftime. The Tigers take the lead into the locker room, 7-6 over Bunnell.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like your attention, please. Tonight, the Hand High Tigers are proud to honor the players of the Madison Youth Football League. Madison Youth Football League, again, has over 100 boys playing this year in their program. And it's been a successful year for the total Madison program. All the teams in Madison, the 5 teams are battling for playoff spots. The senior team is in second place in its division. The 2 junior teams are tied for first place with a showdown this Sunday afternoon at Strong Field. And one of our youth teams is tied for first place. So with that, the Hand High players have made a path two teams to pass through. The first is the Youth Cougars, coached by Mike Torres, Tom Domkowski, Jim Cerullo, and Bob Davis. The Cougars. They're followed by the Youth Panthers, coached by Don Wayne, Mike Targowski, Ken Roman, Tim Tyson, Dave Frey, and Rob Fisher. Next we have the Junior Bengals, coached by Joe Udacek, Tom Tellier, John Becker, and Frank Holt. The Junior Packers follow them, coached by Chip Frey, Dick Arkin, Bob Donnelly, and Art Conroy. Last but not least is the Senior Division teams, coached by Bob Risley, John McKinley, Pete Newcomb, and Mike Tigg. Ladies and gentlemen, please give this future hand Tigers a hand.
Action has begun at Strong Field in Madison, and Bunnell receives the kick, and will start 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line.
Chris, to clarify, we were talking about the end of the first half. I talked to Norm DiMartino at halftime, and his explanation is that what has to be set is the box. In other words, the movable thing for which marks the line of scrimmage. That has to be set. The chains do not have to be set before the clock stops. But at the same time, he also agreed that the umpires should be standing over the football until such time as the ball is ready for play and the officials decide that it's ready for play. Part of the reason for the hand illegal procedure is that the official was saying to the hand center, don't snap the ball until I blow the whistle, and because the Tigers were trying to get that ball thrown out of bounds to stop the clock, the snap was coming too soon. That's where the illegal procedure was coming in. However, Norm also agreed with me that the officials did not do what they should have done. And he is the clock operator. He is the official tonight. Well, don't mind Chris, because he's sitting here trying to put on his microphone right now.
That was Bumbala or Bumbala. I've been calling him Bumbala. Paul Nichols downstairs calls him Bumbala, but I'll stick with Bumbala. Opening minute of play. Bunnell with the ball, and 2nd down, 14. And Gaglione will carry it up to about the 28-yard line.
Broken play, I believe, Chris, on that. Gaglione sort of was looking for a handoff, saw that he did have a pitch out, but there wasn't really a play developing there, and so he did what you want your quarterback to do, which is to tuck it up and try to make something himself.
Again, where I was mentioning, trying to get the microphones on here is tough, especially when you've been down for 25 minutes fighting the line for 2 cups of coffee like the trooper I am. I think we're going to have to find somebody, Hal, to run errands for us at halftime so we can be ready when the second half begins. And Della Piano on the reception from Gaglione for a 1st down up at the 40-yard line.
I got questions on that spot, too, although it was across the field. It looked like Pete Newcomb drove him out of bounds before he got to the 40-yard line, and they gave him the 42 for the 1st down.
Exactly. I called it the 40, and that appeared to be where the ball went out of bounds. And they are spotting it at the 42-yard line. 1st and 10, 2 minutes in, 2nd half. Tigers in front by a point, and Bunnell moving the ball a bit. Anderson picks up a 1. 2nd down, 9. Dave Millard and Cooper get up off the pile along with Green over there and Kevin Hughes.
And I think the Bulldogs have decided they have to throw the ball a little bit, Chris, here in the second half. And that's been a situation that Hand has run into a lot this year. People have thrown on the Tigers because they found that that is a way to be successful. Hand defensive line has done a real good job stuffing runs for the most part. We got an illegal procedure penalty at this point. On the outside, we had 35, who was set, came up, came back down again. And that is Mark Semlo, who is sometimes wearing number 74 when he's playing in the defensive line and the offensive line, and when he's playing tight end is wearing number 35.
Tigers have 13, now 12, now 11 men now on the field as a couple Tigers get off. And it gives to the fullback, Gallagher. And he puts Sineski down, stays on his feet, gets out over the 45 to the 47-yard line, pickup of about 5 yards.
And Terry Gallagher, nice stocky, 5'10", 200 pounds, little bit of speed and pretty strong.
And they did not give the ball to Gallagher much in the first half, only a couple of carries.
That was how they beat Guilford, was with Gallagher carrying the ball.
And Bunnell's fullback has figured in quite a bit the last couple of years. That one's knocked away by Green.
David Green, nice play. Just came in, did what a defensive lineman was supposed to do. He had his hands up in the air, and he batted the ball away. Tell you what, about half a step, he had a pickoff on that.
And a fourth down situation comes up now for the Bulldogs. Speaking of fullbacks, Wojnarowski.
Wojnarowski, right.
For Bunnell, very tough fullback last couple of years.
Last couple of years, right. And Mark Pedersen before that, we remember. We've seen some pretty good running backs come through Bunnell.
And kicking the ball away is Stowers. It'll be fielded by Wiesbrock at the 15, and he will be taken down at about the 13 as Anderson gets over there along with Goff. 71, Mike Goff.
And on that play, a nice high Bob Stowers punt gave Bunnell plenty of time to get downfield. The Bulldogs covered it well, did exactly what they should be doing, and Tigers pinned very deep in their own territory right now, Chris.
It was an excellent kick as it traveled about 45, 47 yards in the air.
First and 10 at its own 13.
And very good coverage as well.
First and 10 from the 13. It's Kelly over the right side, and he's stacked up. May have picked up a yard. We'll have to wait for the spot.
Not a whole lot doing inside so far for hand tonight. Bunnell has played defensively very, very strong inside, not giving the Tigers any kind of room to run at all. Where Hand's had his success has been attacking the corners and going outside a little bit with Brian Kelly on those quick pitches.
Right now they have 10 men within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Hevesy pitches to Kelly, and Kelly's hit net and then drags his would-be tackler for about a yard. Making the hit was Gallagher. Once again, defensively has been their main man tonight.
Yes, he has. Terry Gallagher's been all over the place defensively, doing a real good job. And that time, Bunnell defensed that quick toss. So obviously, Bob Mastriano had a couple things to say at halftime about what he wanted to do defensively.
Third down 6. Duncanson split to the left. Inside of Dunk is McIntyre. It's Kelly, though, and Kelly will lose yardage.
Once again, Gallagher was the first man there. That time, Gallagher was coming on a blitz, thinking that it was maybe a passing situation, and he just happened to run into the lane where the play was going, and he was there to make the tackle in the backfield.
The wind has picked up a bit. It will be at Dan Sineski's back for the most part now.
It's kind of swirling, though, Chris. The flag was blowing the other way just a minute ago, so it's kind of a swirling wind right now.
There is definitely more wind. And that one is almost blocked. Sineski hits it from his 5. Anderson watches it bound down at the 40. He'll get away from it. And it'll be at the 43-yard line where the Bulldogs will take over inside Tiger territory. 7:01 to go, third quarter. Tigers in front by a point.
And he hit that ball real well, and at that point the wind was starting to shift, and he had a spiral, but it got caught up in the wind. The wind just held the ball up real well, because I thought that ball was going to come out to at least midfield.
Defensively for the Tigers, Hevesy and Newcomb are the Rovers. Wiesbrock and Millard, inside linebackers, Sineski, Dunk, and Rubler, the deep. On first down, it's Bumbala, and he's hit by Hevesy and Millard. Making the initial stop was Hughes, 74 for the Tigers.
We got 2 people down on that. Looks like Dave Green is down and hurting, and also
the ball carrier, I
Bunnell, the
believe.
ball carrier, is down. And Dave Green looks like he's in some pain. It's tough to tell what kind of an injury he's got right now, whether he's got a cramp or whether he's... and from the way Steve Sekula is working on it, I think he's got a cramp.
Defensive line for the Tigers inside. They come out with Green and Hughes. And Vince and Cooper are the ends. And right now checking into the game is Jim Metz, 69, who will replace Green at least for one play.
And actually, he's got a tough cramp. He's got a fairly severe cramp there. He's trying to stretch it out right now, but I think that's what he's got.
And Bumbala, he's all right.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
So is Green. He'll be off for probably a play or two. And we'll see Dave again.
Cold night, which you don't generally cramp so much on a cold night, Chris, but tough collision in there. And,
Rich and Bill Anderson now the halfbacks. And it's Gallagher with the fake. Gaglione keeps it, gets down inside the 40 to about the 39-yard line, and it'll bring up a third down situation and about 6.
Chris, I think we have a new quarterback in here. I think Della Piano is playing some quarterback right now, number 18.
Very well could be, because Gaglione is 16.
Right, that is Della Piano coming out of quarterback, and he was the one who ran the play there.
That's right.
And he's playing in the secondary also. A very, very good athlete, as we know. Covering Duncanson one-on-one, you got to be a pretty good athlete.
And Della Piano, he keeps it and gets down to close to the 35-yard line. Not able to get a first down. They'll spot it at about the 36.
So it's going to be 4th and 2 plus. But again, with Bunnell being in 4-down territory, you would imagine that the Bulldogs would go for it.
But
Once again,
once again, the spot is not exactly.
No, not.
It looks now like 4th and almost 4.
You got to scratch your head at this crew. You really do. And again, as I said before, I don't get on officials. I don't like to.
The board's got 4th and 4. We both saw it as 4th and about 2. And it's a short 4 anyway, but nonetheless. And Della Piano fumbles the ball, then falls on it right about at the line of scrimmage, and I think they've decided with Della Piano out that they'll run the option, and he'll keep the ball and run it a little bit more.
If he'd extended the handoff, he had a first down, too, because he had his man coming to the outside, Bumbala, number 36. He had him coming out, and it looked like I thought he had the ball at first, and if he did, he certainly had a first down.
First and 10, hands from its 36.
On downs, Tigers get control once again on 1st and 10. They'll look for Duncanson. Hevesy has him, and Dunk gets up to 45-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 9. It'll bring up 2nd down 1 for the Tigers, as once again playing very soft. Della Piano giving Duncanson 6-7 yard out every time.
Right. Again, not a great pass, but that time Scott was able to turn around and make the catch. Again, the timing is just not quite there yet, Chris. When that timing gets there, that's going to be a very, very good pattern for the Tigers in the coming weeks.
Out of the pro set, Duncanson split to the left, McIntyre to the right. They're looking for Dunk. And once again, the ball is thrown out of bounds down the sideline. Anderson and Della Piano over on the coverage.
And Anderson looked like he was maybe starting to cramp a little bit, the way he was kind of hunched over at the 20-yard line, trying to stretch his legs out a little bit. He got over very quickly to make some double cover on that play. I would think at this point that if Dunk keeps running that pattern, at some point or another, he's going to be able to cut it back across the middle and be open.
Well, there's encroachment right there, I believe, on Bunnell. Hal, I was going to mention that I like the call. 2nd down and short, 1. Duncanson back in the lineup. The Tigers
go for it.
The things that we were looking for them to do earlier, they wouldn't do because perhaps the personnel. Right. But really like to see that call.
And now the first down. And now they're taking their time. They have the change set and everything else. Now the official finally says, blow the whistle, let's get it in play. That's the kind of thing you want to see with the last minute and a half to go in the first half, too.
At the midfield stripe, Hevesy back, rolls out. There's Duncanson once again. Nice cutback, still on his feet. Still on his feet. Down to the reception, picking up an extra 10. So what looked to be a 6-7 yard out turned into a 17-yard gain or so.
And Steve D'Angelo, the outside linebacker, was the last man with really a shot to tackle Scott Duncanson, made the play. If he didn't, I think Dunk had the sideline and going.
Well, they've marked it right at the 35, so a 15-yard reception from Hevesy to Duncanson as Duncanson splits out of the line to the left. Rubler being tight at the flank position on the right side. Out of the eye, it's Kelly. And Kelly slips through off tackle for close to 5. As he'll get down close to the 30. He'll spot it at the 31, going 4. Second down, 6 coming up for the Tigers.
And Wiesbrock and Rubler throwing good blocks on the outside there to give Brian Kelly a little bit of running room. And he kind of put his head down and just kind of used his whole body going forward instead of running straight up that time. He was kind of leaning into it, and I think that helped him gain a couple extra yards.
3:13 to go, third quarter. And it's Kelly. Kelly over the right side, cuts back. Will be shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd and short coming up.
Right now, Chris, also, you'll notice on this play, Scott Duncanson was getting double-teamed on the outside, both Anderson and Delapiano on the outside. In the first half, Delapiano was taking one-on-one. Now, Anderson's cheating out there a little bit, and maybe if Duncanson's getting double coverage, there's going to be something open underneath.
3rd down, short break. Spagnesi the fullback, Kelly the tailback. They're up close, within 5 yards of Hevesy. Give his play action to Kelly, looking for Wiesbrock, has it at the 10, and taken out of bounds at the 5.
Great play call on that. Tigers had everybody inside on that play with John Wiesbrock in a wingback spot. Did a play action. Wiesbrock kind of slipped out, got behind the secondary. Chris Hevesy laid the ball with a beautiful, beautiful pass. Probably the best ball he's thrown all night. And hand is very, very deep now and around the 6-yard line with a 1st and goal and threatening. Officials calling a timeout now.
We have another player down, perhaps cramping once again. Bunnell player in the far corner of the end zone down. As the Tigers, when we resume action, will have it 1st and goal from the 6 with 2:25 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Hand Tiger Football, Madison Community TV, brought to you in part by a grant from First Federal Savings and Loan of Madison and also by the Madison Football Boosters. Chris Wallach with Hal Levy and our cameraman Joe LePage on top of a very cold and windy Strongfield press box tonight. Wind continuing to swirl out of the north. About, what would you say, Hal, 45 degrees, 40 degrees?
Probably in the low 40s anyway. As I was just going to say, I thought I ordered hot coffee at halftime, Chris. Iced coffee's for the summer.
By the time I got back from that quarter-of-a-mile hike, it was cold. Well, we'll put the word out right now. Anybody that might be interested in, perhaps keeping some stats for us, running some errands at halftime like coffee and dog.
And getting Joe LePage a new lens for the camera. Joe says that the reason he's not doing close-ups right now is that the lens is not working properly. If somebody wants to come up with $1,000 for a new lens, he would be very, very appreciative.
1st and goal from the 6. It's Kelly. He'll get down to the 4, pick up of 2 on our next home game. Just look for either Hal or myself up here atop the press box, and we'll get you into the broadcasting field very quickly.
We got spoiled last week. We had Mike Tomorrow up at Xavier, BC student who's done some writing for us over the course of the summer, helped us out with our fall sports section.
Out of the power eye left, it's Kelly. And Kelly
probably around the 3-yard line right now.
Advances the ball for about a yard. With the soccer line there, it's hard to tell. Looks like he might be down close to the 2.
Yeah, yes he is.
So we'll go 3rd and goal from the 2 as McIntyre checks in. Dave Guzio checks out. Tigers come out with Duncanson split out wide to the left.
And he's getting single coverage out there. He may be open.
And Hevesy pitches to Kelly, slipping through and making the initial hit was Steve D'Angelo, one of the co-captains for the Bulldogs, and I believe he saved the touchdown
Yes, I think he did, because he got into the flow of that play very, very quickly, and if he hadn't, I think Brian Kelly had the corner for the touchdown. The 4th and goal from the 2. Tigers going to go for it. They're not going to take the field goal. They're going to go for the touchdown.
They send Duncanson wide to the right. Once again, that slant pass would be open. The Tigers will pitch to Kelly, and Kelly will get in behind the blocking of McIntyre. Taylor was over there also, and Vince.
And Todd Vince, nice block in the backfield, because again, Bunnell got penetration. Bunnell blitzing on the play, and Todd Vince picked up the blitz man and gave Brian Kelly that hole to run into.
And the Tigers have increased their lead now to 13-6 with 43 seconds showing on the clock, 3rd quarter. Steve McIntyre in to attempt the extra point.
And as they did in the 1st quarter, Hand took a nice amount of time off the clock, put together a very solid drive, and now the Tigers with a chance to put it up by 8 if McIntyre can connect on the extra point here.
And good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and it is good. So with 43 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter, it's the Tigers up by 8, 14-6. All set to kick off is Steve McIntyre, Bumbala, Anderson, and it's recovered by the Tigers. Off one of the frontline men for Bunnell, and the Tigers have recovered. No official signal, but I did see a Tiger with the ball. Whether they will retain possession is questionable. No, leave right there once again. I am in
agree.
Perfect view of
Chris, that one happened like right in front of us.
It happened right in front of us. The Tigers did have the ball initially. It may have been taken away by Bunnell at the bottom of the pile, but after it bounded off one of the frontline people for Bunnell, the Tigers did recover the ball.
Heck of a play. And it looked like it worked.
1st and 10 from their own 48-yard line. Looking for Delapiano. They, almost has it and then almost intercepted by Zaneski. And now Delapiano is down.
Now Bunnell going back with Gaglione, quarterback again. Brad Gaglione started the ball game, played the entire 1st half. Delapiano came in for a series in the 2nd half, ran the ball a couple of times, and now he's in there playing a wide receiver.
So it looks like when they want to throw the ball, they put Delapiano at a wide receiver, and when they want to run the ball, they put him at QB.
Maybe the same kind of thing Hand was running into last week, where you have your best passer also happens to be your best receiver at the time.
Exactly. And Zaneski moving in at quarterback, and
Hevesy going out to try to get some passing offense, right?
There's 22 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. The Bulldogs trail by 8. They're looking to up their record to a 4-1, and the Tigers, of course, looking to avoid dropping below 500.
Championship series tonight, the score Boston 1, California 0.
Paul Nichols just announcing an early score in the American League Championship Series, thanks to the television set we provided for him, Chris. It was funny because we both got out of the car at the same time, and each one of us had a little 5-inch portable set that we'd brought along to make sure we could watch the ball game. Yours is sitting up here dark right now, and mine's downstairs. Paul's watching that while he's doing the play-by-play.
Gaglione's pass for Bumbala, incomplete. And 3rd down 10 now for the Bulldogs. 16 seconds showing on the clock, 3rd quarter.
Bunnell making a couple of personnel changes here, but Gaglione staying at quarterback at this point. And the Bulldogs have shown that they're going to throw the ball, so I would assume they will here.
And over the middle for Anderson. Nice reception. Inside the Tiger 40 at the 39. 1st down.
And Anderson ran kind of a circle pattern coming out. Got in again into the seam in the zone. And Gaglione put the ball right on the money. Anderson made a diving catch of the ball, but good for the 1st down.
And they'll split Anderson out to the left.
That is the end of the third period with the score hand 14.
And the third quarter has come to a close. We'll switch ends, and when we come back, it'll be 1st and 10 for Bunnell. Tigers in front, 14-6. 1st and 10 from the 39. Play action, looking for Anderson. Underthrown, and almost picked off by Newcomb.
Pete Newcomb had his hands on the ball and just could not quite hold on to it. The ball was a little bit underthrown that time. Newcomb was right there playing that short zone to the outside and thought he had an interception.
Anderson ran a short flag pattern and would have been open had the ball been thrown higher over Newcomb. But almost had. I think Newcomb was a bit surprised.
I think he was, because Gagliano's been putting the ball right on the money, and that's the first maybe real bad pass he's thrown tonight.
Fake to the fullback Gallagher. Gagliano will keep it and now cut back. Shaler comes back, trails the play, makes the initial hit. Over there also Zaneski and Hughes on the tackle.
Nice piece of running there, because I didn't think Gagliano was going to get that much out of it. He made a good cut back, and he gained himself 6.5 yards. Tigers got to stiffen up a little bit defensively here, Chris, because it looks like Bunnell may be starting to get something going in the way of a drive.
Well, they're mixing it up well. A few passes, a little bit of run, and 3rd down 4. Opening minute of play, 4th quarter action. Once again, it's Gagliano. He'll pitch it to Bumbala. Bumbala dragged down. Nice play by Hevesy. Shows a little bit of his strength there, as Bumbala looked like he would have the 1st down easily, but then was pulled down, and once again, looks like it'll be a measurement. From here, it looks a bit short, but anything can go tonight.
Oh yeah, with some of the spots tonight, you really got to wonder. Chris Hevesy, good job on that, because he was getting blocked, and he managed to shed the blocker, come to the outside, and just kind of grab Bumbala by the back of the jersey and haul him down. And
it is going to be a 1st down.
Looks like it is a 1st down. Chris, I think we got to give up on this stuff.
At least this week. Most weeks, honestly, weeks we're pretty much right on.
Yes, I think we are.
But I'm not quite sure what's going on over on the sideline tonight.
I'll tell you what, if they measure right now, it's not a 1st down, because when they spotted the ball in the middle of the field, Bunnell lost a yard.
1st and 10, and it's Gallagher, the fullback. And he gets down to about the 25-yard line. So right now, at first to be not a large gain, ended up being close to 5.
And right now, Gagliano is starting to run the wishbone the way you run the wishbone, where he's doing pure option, not knowing specifically what he's going to do until he sees what's happening. He's reading on the run, which is the way you want to run that offense.
2nd down and a long 5. It's Bumbala. And Bumbala is hit right after a gain of about 1.
And that was a called play in the huddle. That was just a straight handoff, no faking really, and no option on the play. Where he's had some success recently has been coming down the line of scrimmage, reading and reacting.
We haven't talked about it too much really tonight, I don't believe, Hal, but Tigers notoriously have trouble with the wishbone
yes.
teams. Last few years with Bunnell and East Catholics and Middletowns, those type of teams.
Right. It has been a problem for it, but again, Bunnell not running pure bone. Doing a lot of preconceived stuff in the huddle where they're calling the play, and it takes a little bit away from what you have to worry about with defensing the wishbone.
But with their plays here in the 2nd half, running a little bit more of the type of wishbone plays that we're talking about, with Gagliano going down the line, sometimes giving it to Gallagher, sometimes pitching to Anderson, and they seem to be moving the ball better when they run truer to form, is what I'm trying to say.
Exactly, no question about that. Right now, big play here with a 4th down, and Bunnell is taking a timeout with a 4th and 5 at his own 25, at the hand 25-yard line. This is maybe for the Tigers as big a defensive play as Hand has had all night. And Hand has been fairly successful at stopping Bunnell when Bunnell has gotten down deep inside the Hand 30.
Ball resting on the 25-yard line, and the nose of the football will have to get just inside the 20 for a 1st down on 4th and 5. 9:56 to go in the ball game. And they just had a $100 winner in the raffle.
And it wasn't either one of us.
It's costing us $5 a piece a week, and we haven't won yet.
By the end of the year, if we do win, well, all we're going to do is break even, Chris.
Exactly. That doesn't include the raffle tickets we bought last year. A couple of my baseball kids down below trying to get my attention. I guess I mentioned Brian Sotero's name, the pitcher for the JV baseball team, and he'll be happy. Screen set up, and then almost picked off as Kelly.
Brian Kelly got his hands up in the air, broke
Green
it up,
had a
and
shot.
Green had a
Maybe
shot
get
at
it.
Bunnell had people going all over the place on that play. I'm not sure the Bulldogs really knew quite what they were doing. I think it was supposed to be a screen, but I haven't seen too many screens set up the way that one was. And it took a long time to develop. Brian Kelly, nice job coming in and batted the ball down, probably just as well, because if it hadn't, it might have been picked off anyway.
So on downs, the Tigers take over 1st and 10 from the 25. They have an 8-point lead with 9:48 to go.
What Hand needs to do now here is try to eat up some clock, get a couple first downs, move the ball.
And a nice tackle by Terry Gallagher. Right at the line of scrimmage, takes down Kelly for no gain, 2nd down 10.
Number 32, Terry Gallagher, proving to be a very, very good football player. I think you got to look at him as an all-league player, I think, in the Coastal Conference, and maybe even more.
But what I've seen tonight, he's been around the ball on every play from his linebacker position.
Yep.
10 men up close to the line. Hevesy rolls out. Rubler is tripped up. Rubler headed out for a pass, was covered by D'Angelo, one of the linebackers. Stepped right in the back of Rubler's foot, it looked like.
Yeah, it's one of those things where he might have slipped, or he might have been tripped up. Ball was not in the air, and the officials chose not to make a call on it, which, you can't argue with there. Probably a good non-call.
3rd down 10, Tigers send Duncanson split out wide to the left. It's McIntyre on the right side. Out of the shotgun, it's a quick kick. Hevesy does not get it off as well as he wanted to. Anderson picks it up, has some blocking, now cuts back, still on his feet, taken down at the Tiger 45-yard line. I believe Hevesy would have liked to get a few more feet on that ball, feet-wise.
Yeah, if he had,
would have gone over Anderson's head and rolled down another 15, 20 yards.
Anderson made a great play on that, though. You got to give him a lot of credit. He came back and made a super play to catch up with the football.
Anderson on the punts and kickoffs, and offensively has been one of the keys, along with Bumbala. And defensively, it's been Gallagher. And now Gallagher's starting to assert himself a little bit more. Last couple of carries, he's gone for 3, 4, 5 yards on a clip. He gets about 3.5 there. We'll call it. Oh, geez, I don't know what to call it tonight. We'll call it 4. Now it looks like 4. So we'll call it 2nd down 6.
And that time, again, Gaglione came down the line on the option and, read what was going on, gave the ball to Gallagher, 4-yard gain.
Now Duncanson out on Delapiano. And it's Gallagher again, and Gallagher gets hit hard after gaining 3. There was a fumble, and the Tigers said they recovered it. I'm not sure about the recovery.
I don't know who it was. Joe Rubler got up late off the pile, and so did Dave Millard.
Dave Green also, so I'm not sure.
That's hard to say. It's tough to see the fumble in there.
It was a quiet fumble.
Very, very quiet fumble. But Tigers, again.
It was a good initial hit, though, on Gallagher, and that's when, no doubt, the ball got coughed up. We couldn't see it was on the far side of the field.
But again, Hand has been tough inside its own territory. Bunnell has spent a lot of time in Hand territory and has come away with only 6 points so far.
And Kelly goes off the left side, manages to get about 3. We'll bring up a 2nd down and 7.
We're down to like 7:45 to go right now, Chris. So from Hand's situation, again, the same thing they were in a couple of minutes ago. Tigers needing to try to get a couple first downs, eat up some clock, get some territory. And that exchange right there gained him a few yards on the quick kick and then the fumble recovery.
2nd and 7, the pitch goes Kelly right side, and Hughes had a little trouble with his block.
Kelly cut the wrong way off it, though.
Trying to take out Colucci.
If Kelly had cut that back to the inside, Vince on the inside had gotten his block, and I think probably Brian had some room if he cut it back inside, but he's been cutting them inside, and I think maybe he thought he was going to catch people by surprise cutting it back out.
3rd down, 6. Rubler is on the wing to the right. Duncanson's split out to the left, out of the eye. They give it to Spignesi, and he gets up close to the 45-yard line. Well, it'll bring up a 4th down punting situation for the Tigers, and they should be able to push Bunnell fairly well back here, provided Anderson does not get off a good run back.
Right now, the wind going with Danny Zaneski, and again, the wind is whipping, but this time it is kind of swirling down towards that goal line, so you could think that Zaneski might even be able to come reasonably close to the end zone with a punt.
Rich and Bill Anderson standing back inside their own 25. Zaneski handles the high snap. That's what's nice about having a quarterback.
And he gets, as a result, a not real good punt at all. If Bunnell had a block on, Bulldogs would have blocked that punt. They did not have a block on at all. But the kick only traveled probably about 15 or 18 yards before going out of bounds.
Danny rushed it a little bit, but did a nice job to keep it from going over his head.
Yes, he did. He's had, there have been some high snaps tonight. Been a little bit of problem with that.
Once again, the cold weather could be a definite contributing factor to that.
And last week, Tigers did have 2 blocked. The first 2 punts that Hand has had blocked in like 15 years.
6:08 to go, 1st and 10. Gaglione looking for Delapiano, double coverage, and going to the ball nicely and batting it down. Hevesy and Zaneski both simultaneously, and Delapiano is slow getting up.
And he's still down. He may have cramped up again. Zaneski and Hevesy both over there, and Danny Zaneski making a good play on that. Looks like he's cramped up again. He's playing both ways. He's in like on every single play, and he's probably starting to feel it a little bit in terms of tiredness.
So there's a timeout on the field with 6 minutes, 1 second to go in the ball game. Tigers in front, 14-6. Gaglione on the draw to Bumbala. And nice defensive play by Green, who chipped him up at the 45. Bumbala fell forward to the 48 for a pickup of about 4 yards. So bring up 3rd down and 6.
Chris, you're sitting here shaking your head, and I know why, because you got to wonder about that spot, too. Dave Green stayed home on that. He was playing, basically playing draw and screen. He was right where he was supposed to be, and I thought he made that play at the line of scrimmage.
3rd down, 6. Gaglione looking out of the backfield to Anderson. Has a lot of running room down the sideline. Gets a block from the other Anderson. And 3 Tiger tacklers take him down at the 38-yard line.
And Scott Duncanson, playing a little bit of defense in the long down situations, was over there to make the hit on that. So Larry Ciotti using Scott Duncanson a little bit defensively. He said before the game that he was going to use him on like 2nd and long, 3rd and long, basic passing situations. And he was in there on that one. He's in there right now, too. And we've got a timeout again, another injured player on the field.
And Tigers making a substitution. Kelly trots on and will replace Vince at the left defensive end position.
Tigers are in action next weekend on Saturday afternoon at North Brentford. 2 weeks from tonight, the Tigers will play at Jonathan Law in Milford. And the next home game will be 3 weeks from tonight when the Tigers entertain the Morgan Huskies.
Maybe. Might be Saturday afternoon. Newcomb's arms on that play, but he showed a pretty good turn of speed getting it upfield. I thought he was going to pitch, and I think Pete did too, and maybe wasn't quite ready when all of a sudden Delapiano decided that he was just going to run it himself. I think you're right also, Chris. When they want to run with somebody, Delapiano comes in at quarterback and he runs with the football.
Well, he spotted it at the 27-yard line. 1st and 10 there with 4:20 to go in the ball game. Bunnell looking to tie it. And the pitch now to Bumbala. Anderson tries to get a block on Hevesy. Hevesy manages to fend off the block, get a hand on the ball carrier, and take him down after a gain of about 4, which which will bring up a 2nd and 6.
Good play by Chris Evison because there was a lot of room on the outside if he got past there. He did a nice job to fight off the block and then turn around and make the hit.
Time of the essence for the Bulldogs as we're nearing 3.5 minutes to go in the ball game. 2nd down and 6. It's Delapiano. He'll get 1 block and still on his feet. And now down close to the 10-yard line.
Could have been a face mask there, too. Scott Duncanson started to grab him that way, and then you saw him slide his hand down real quick. And he, again, ran through Pete Newcomb. Pete, I think, again, thinking that there was going to be a pitch out and maybe not quite ready for the fact that he was going to cut it up.
Exactly, because it appeared that Newcomb had a beat on the play. You know, after a very short gain, was going to make the tackle, and he'll now come out of the ball game.
Now remember, he took a pretty tough hit, Chris, late in the first half, and you wonder if that's maybe having a little bit of an effect on him. On that punt return by Anderson where he got viciously blocked.
Tumbla off tackle down inside the 5 on a 1st and 10 play from the 11, so he'll get down to about the 4, pickup of 7.
And it's going to be a 2nd down and fairly short yardage inside the hand 5, and the Tigers have got to come up with a play here. Newcomb coming back into the lineup now.
And by the time the Bulldogs get this play off,
going to be down to 3 minutes.
Under 3 minutes. They send out Delmonico to the left, Anderson to the right. And Delapiano with the fake looks to run it in, gets the touchdown. Must have just got the nose of the ball over the end zone. Very close.
Yes, he did. He did get in, though. Nice run. He saw that hole, and he just cut it up, and he has done a heck of a job just running the ball himself. It was Delapiano left, Delapiano right.
And it's now 14-12. Bunnell takes a timeout. Obviously, they would go for 2. But they'd like to talk about what type of play they will use to tie this one up with 2:56 to go. Well, the Bulldogs break the huddle. There still seems to be some confusion, and they will be forced to call another timeout.
Because they only had 10 men, Chris. Tough when you turn around and you're looking for the man that you're supposed to toss to, and he's standing on the sideline. And so the Bulldogs take, I believe, their 3rd timeout.
And he's been one of their big guns offensively, carrying the ball. Anyway, maybe a reverse, some sort of play like that, which you might not run all the time, which might be confusing as to what type of people are going to be on the field for that specific play. There are a few different people out there. One in particular is Vin Cavalieri, 35, who I have not seen in the ball game earlier.
No, 35, I think, is Mark Semlo when he's playing tight end. He's switching numbers back and forth.
Okay, so it's
between 35 and 74. So I think Semlo is wearing 35 right now.
Okay, could be.
He's playing a tight end.
And the Tigers hold.
And Chris, we got to smile a little bit because during the timeout, Matt Cooper came over to the sideline. He had the headset on, and Steve Philippone was explaining to him in reasonably uncertain terms that his responsibility was quarterback. And guess who made the tackle? Matt Cooper. I think he listened.
I think so.
And maybe as big a play as Hand has had all year. Because what the Tigers have to do right now is kill 2 minutes and 56 seconds, and they have a win that maybe some people didn't expect them to get. Right now, they have to get hold on to the football and get themselves at least 1 first down because Bunnell is out of timeouts, so the Tigers need to, just to be able to kill the clock, they need 1 first down.
And they'll have to be leery here of the onside kick. And the Tigers right now have, let me see, only not enough men on the field now right now. I believe they have 10. Now Kelly Trot's on the 11. 5 up front, 4 behind, and 2 deep.
And Todd Vince is the only, no, it's not Vince, Dave Millard, the only man up front.
It's Stowers,
who doesn't have a back, who is not a back or an end.
And it's fielded by Wiesbach. And covered, Tiger ball at the midfield stripe. 2:54 to go in the ball game. Tigers clinging to a 2-point advantage.
And with Hand having the ball at the 50, that's nice too in terms of the fact that no matter what happens, the Tigers are going to make Bunnell go a little bit of distance in order to score.
Had Bunnell still had their 3 timeouts, they may have chosen with 3 minutes left to hit the ball deep, try to hold the Tigers, make them kick into a little bit of a wind, and would have had much better field position.
Right.
But without the timeouts,
Hand going full house backfield, and Chris just coming back, sitting down, because Hand, knowing Bunnell out of timeouts right now, trying to kill the clock that way.
too much time on the clock.
I think there is too much time on the clock. With 2.5 minutes to go, Tigers are not going to be able to do that.
No, Bunnell will get the ball back, and the Tigers sit on it. Bunnell will get the ball back with about 30 seconds or so left in the game. I'm not sure the coach wanted that play, because now they run the ball to Kelly, and he gets inside Bunnell territory down to the 48. Minute 50 on the clock, and it's a 3rd down.
I think maybe somebody didn't realize quite how much time there was left on the clock when they ran that play the first time.
May have been thinking it was a minute 56 and not 2:56.
Right now we're down to a minute 36, minute 35.
And pitches to Kelly. And coming up to make the hit is Anderson at the 45.
And Kelly stays in bounds, so the clock's running under a minute and a half now. And
4th down and 4.5 yards. And the Tigers have an interesting call here, Hal.
Yeah, in some ways you think that maybe you want to do that, and in other ways you think, well, let's punt it and make them go 90 yards rather than, maybe taking an extra 10 seconds off the clock and only leaving them with 60 yards to go.
The Tigers are going to run it down and then take the penalty, I believe.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like they're doing right now, and they just did get the penalty. Griffin threw the flag, and with 54 seconds to go, the clock is going to stop, and the ball's going to come back out to the 50, and now Hand sets up the punt.
Tigers only needed about 4 for the 1st down, and Hevesy lost a couple yards on the first play, so had they run a play on the first play, it's possible they would have been able to pick up that 1st down.
It is certainly a possibility. It's something you have to think about. I'll tell you, Chris, though, it's funny because Hand Bunnell seems to come down to the wire. Remember a couple of years ago when it came down?
21 or something?
Yeah, and it came down to that last half a minute.
Anderson's dangerous, but he fumbles the ball, and it's picked up by Newcomb, I believe.
Yep.
And that should be the ball game. Anderson, who has been an offensive threat all night, tried to run before he caught the ball. The Cardinals sin.
And a little bit of vindication for Pete Newcomb, who had a couple of tackles that maybe people slipped through his arms. Now he comes up with a big play, which pretty much has assured Hand the victory, because now with 44 seconds left, all Chris Hevesy's got to do is play I fall down twice, and it's over. Although remember the Giants and Eagles.
Yes. And the Tigers will cover that with Rubler about 9 yards deep. And Hevesy will go down on one knee.
And that should be it, because there are 20 seconds left, so that should take care of it, Chris.
They will not have to run another play, and the Tigers played well. Bunnell with a valiant effort at the end with a chance to tie.
But again, Hand defensively has been tough, and inside its own 30-yard line, the Tigers probably stopped 4 or 5 Bunnell drives, and then came up with big plays on the 2-point conversions. Bunnell twice went for 2-point conversions, did not get either one of them. That is the difference in the ball game.
The Tigers motivationally much higher tonight with Duncanson back in the lineup.
I think so, and I think maybe we're starting to see a Hand football team become a Hand football team instead of what we saw the first couple of weeks, which was, some very, very mediocre outputs in terms of the kinds of things you normally see from Hand. I think you mentioned before, the eye of the Tiger wasn't there, and maybe it was back a little bit tonight.
Both teams meeting at midfield, shaking hands. And Hal, your comments quickly on the Coastal Conference seems to be a heck of a thing that we're in now.
A black and blue league. I mean, you look at what the Hoosey was like for a long, long time. Right this year, the Hoosey is a passing league. If you look around the league, Witkowski at Brantford, Del Rosso at Cheshire, Joe Stockmel at Seymour, everybody is at Searles at Derby. Everybody is throwing the ball in the Hoosey this year. Coastal Conference is grinded out, except for Stratford, which does throw fairly well. It's a grinded out, tough, physical league, and that's what you're going to see next week from North Branford. It's what you're going to see on Halloween from Morgan. You're going to see this up and down the line, that these people just play tough, hard, physical football, and Hahn can do that. And the Tigers, I think, proved that defensively tonight, that they can play that kind of football.
And the Tigers have Bunnell coming up next Saturday. North Branford after beating Bunnell 14-12, and then Law, and then Morgan. So 2 big ones in the next 3 weeks.
2 big ones in the next 3 weeks.
And let's not forget Law also beat Bunnell.
Law beat Bunnell.
So the Tigers obviously can't overlook anyone.
No, certainly not.
Well, that'll do it from here at the Madison Surf Club. For Joe LePage, I'm Chris Wallach. And Hal Levy, thanks again for joining us this week. 14-12, Tigers win it over Bunnell.